I don't think it's controversial to say that the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, at least the first 3, are some of the best adventure movies in modern memory. These movies have everything: exploration of epic and exotic locales, swashbuckling, creatures both paranormal and fantastical, amazing costumes, amazing music, amazing dialogue.
But why is the rum gone?
And on top of all that, a great love story. But of all the things that the Gore Verbinski trilogy did right, not the least of which giving us one of the most iconic characters in cinema, there is one aspect of the movie that I felt to be somewhat problematic: the trilogy's ending. There is one aspect of the ending in particular that has always stuck in my craw ever since the movie released 15 years ago, and that is this. I really did not like the fact that Will Turner replaces Davy Jones. To me, it doesn't really make sense from a narrative standpoint. Sure, it adds a lot of romantic tragedy to the love story between Will and Elizabeth, but that's the problem. Will and Elizabeth's love story should have had a happy ending. Over the course of the films, all signs point to them getting to live out the rest of their lives in peace. After getting married while fighting a bunch of horrific undersea monsters, I think that they've earned the right to a long, happy, and fruitful life together. Now, with all that being said, the only question that remains is, how do we fix it then? Simple. I would give the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise an ending that not only ends on a happier note, but also help the arc of one of its most overlooked side characters come full circle. The person who should replace Will Turner is Will Turner. That's right, I am suggesting that Bootstrap Bill should have been the one to replace Davy Jones as captain of the Flying Dutchman. Now, for those who haven't seen the movie, and really, why would you be watching this if you haven't? Bootstrap Bill is William Turner's father who, to Will's great chagrin, is a pirate. Not only is he a pirate, but he is a pirate that served on the Black Pearl under Jack Sparrow's leadership. When the crew led a mutiny against Jack headed by Barbossa, Bootstrap Bill spoke out against it, saying that it was wrong and immoral, and for that reason, he was tied to a cannonball and sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
I'm telling a story!
He was met by Davy Jones, who offered him a way out by becoming a slave on his ship in exchange for his life. Right off the bat, before we ever even meet him, Bootstrap Bill is presented as being a pretty decent guy. Sure, he's a pirate, but he does have a good sense of honor. Probably the only guy on the ship besides Jack who had a true sense of honor at the time. When we actually meet him for the first time in Dead Man's Chest, we get to see just how badly he is mistreated by Davy Jones. He is disrespected by the rest of the Flying Dutchman's crew, as much there as he was on the Black Pearl. Still, despite how much he is beaten down, he manages to keep himself going by believing that eventually his son will free him, and that even if he can't free him, he will at the very least live a long, happy life, like how Bill would have wanted him to. On the flip side, we also get hints that Davy Jones does not take his role as leader of the Flying Dutchman seriously enough. He is cursed to ferry the souls of those who died at sea to the afterlife, and that the horrific appearance of both him and his crew is a result of his abdication of that duty. So again, we have a guy who believes in honor and justice, who is deliberately oppressed by one who is selfish and megalomaniacal. Theoretically, you could have a movie about just these two characters and their battle against each other. But the story does not end there. When William Turner challenges Davy Jones to a game of liar's dice, Bootstrap Bill puts his own freedom on the line in order to protect that of his son William, once again going out of his way to make sure that his son is safe. And in the third movie, we see that Davy Jones has gone to the extra measure of punishing Bootstrap Bill by having him be absorbed into the framework of the ship, to the point where he has lost much of his memory. It's actually really tragic to watch because, in many ways, it is evocative of seeing a loved one in a losing battle against dementia or Alzheimer's. As the movie progresses, his loss of memory has caused him to forget his struggle and his own sense of self. He even forgets his own son's face during the final battle. So here is how I'd incorporate this one big major change. So when it comes time to kill Davy Jones, in the final moment, he stabs William Turner. But instead of it being a lethal stab that necessitates William piercing the heart in the box, thus prolonging his life, I would instead have it be some kind of wound that does not kill him. However, upon seeing this, Bootstrap Bill is knocked out of his haze, and while Jones is still distracted by fighting Jack and/or Elizabeth, Bill stabs the heart and kills Davy Jones, sending him down into the briny deep. In the end, Bootstrap Bill becomes the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and thus the curse of the crew is lifted. He assists the pirate lords in taking down Beckett, and the day is saved, yada yada yada. William survives, and he and Elizabeth get to have their happily ever after. However, due to the curse necessitating that Bill may only touch land one day every 10 years, we get a heartfelt goodbye between him and his son. You get the sense of sadness that Will is sort of losing his father all over again, but instead of being resentful of his chosen path, William couldn't be more proud of his father for being such a good, honest, honorable man, even among pirates. When it came time to do the wrong thing and mutiny against Jack, he stood up and said no. But when it came time to do the right thing for Will and take down Davy Jones, he didn't hesitate. And when it came time to rid the seas of Beckett, he did so with his trusted son by his side. That is the kind of man who ought to help the souls of the dead seafarers into the great hereafter. William makes a promise to the now Captain Bill that the next time they see each other, he will have a grandchild waiting for him, both eliciting awes from the audience, but also hinting at a future sequel involving Will Turner's son, hopefully one that is better than the one we got. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this would have been a better ending to the films? Would you have maybe ended it some other way? Were there other aspects of the film trilogy that you would have liked to have seen done differently? Or perhaps you'd like to see me do a rewrite treatment of the other films that came afterwards. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see next. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like and, boost the video and whatnot. And until next time, this is J. Brad, signing out.